veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are back. Kimberly Reviews and I are back today with our Married at First Sight season 17, episode 15, Honeyspoonin. What's going on, guys?
Yes, we are back.
We are back. We are back. Yes, yes, yes. So I just want to shout out to everybody who's here, who came in early and put on their notifications. Thank you, Coach Mary Ma, Be Amazing Sylvia, my friend Design with Emma, Alisa's Adventures in Cruising, yes, Boss Life Online, and of course Monique, one of our moderators, is saying happy Sunday, everyone. Like the video and enjoy this review and recap. Yes. So we're going to get started, and I think we should start with our first couple, not the first couple on the episode, but since we do it in order of most interesting to least interesting to most interesting, we're going to start with Becca and Austin. What did you think of Becca and Austin? This week, we see them go to uh, Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, which I guess is right outside of Philadelphia, to celebrate Austin's grandmother's 97th birthday.
Yes, that was nice. Like 97, that's something to celebrate for sure. I just did not like that they are not getting into the activities that Dr. Pierre told them to do. Well, actually, they did the activity when Austin had Becca crawling all around the house, touching stuff. And he even said that it was like turning him on or whatever. But then he's just not doing the after party, and so to speak. So I don't know what to say about them. Austin just isn't into Becca, in my opinion, and he is just waiting this thing out like the other guys.
It seems like it. It certainly does seem like it. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand. So this week he's basically saying that because they were staying with his aunt and uncle, they
Mm-hmm.
had these two cats, which apparently he's allergic to. So I'm wondering, well, where's your Benadryl? Where's
Right,
your what is that? Electra D or something? I don't know. I don't really have allergies like that, but
right.
what do people take when they have allergies besides Benadryl?
Is it? I think I got Allegra or something like 24-hour, and it works really good. It's like Allegra something.
Oh,
It's like in a
Allegra.
purple bottle, and you can get it right at the Family Dollar. So, no excuse, Austin.
No excuse at the Family Dollar discount. Okay, all right. And you know Amazon will get it to you within a day or so.
Exactly,
Like
excuses.
excuses. I mean, and these two, they get ready before they see Dr. Pia. She comes to pay a home visit. I was a little shocked at Austin because he basically said, "Well, he said you aren't going to surprise me by saying anything crazy, are you?" I was like, "Okay, go ahead, Brennan number two, Brennan 2.0."
You can tell they've been talking.
You really can. You really can. You can tell they have been talking. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not put up. Hold on. I'm not using the gifts that God blessed me with.
Yeah.
Yes. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Speaking of Austin, Becca and Austin. Okay. Yeah, yeah, Becca and Austin. This is who we're talking about. And anything else that you observed when Dr. Pia visited and visited with Becca and Austin? How do you think they did?
I think they're just still faking. I don't see how we went from being all in love and the perfect match and pretty much twins. They like everything. But now you have Becca who's ready to jump in the bed, and then Austin is like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the activities. To me, it just seems like they don't really respect Dr. Pia and, the other experts either, because they're not willing to take on the advice that they give, and these are people who have done this for years. So that's what I always say. If I was to do this experiment, as long as it wasn't something that was disrespecting me or someone else, I believe I would just go with the advice. It's only, 8 weeks just to see what happens.
Right, right, right. If you took this seriously enough to do it, to put yourself out
Hmm.
there on national, international TV, why not just actually listen to what
Yeah.
they have to say? Because, like you said, they've got years and even decades of experience behind them.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. But do you feel? I got one question to ask you, and you guys out in the chat too. Do you feel that because we saw on the after party that Emily was giving Austin a hard time and said, just have sex with her already, basically. Um, do you guys feel feel that we would look at this differently though if it were reversed and it was Becca who wasn't interested in having uh hot and heavy time, as we say?
Yes, because we did a few weeks ago or episodes ago or another season when it was Shaquille and Kirsten. When Kirsten didn't want to do whatever, it was a big deal, but I don't feel like it's a big deal either way. You know what you want to do and when you want to do it. And I look at it like a regular relationship. Typically, you are told to wait 90 days, 6 months, or even a year, or, marriage within like 2 years to have, that hot and heavy time. But on this show, people just expect you to just marry this person and just open your legs the same night. And it's not,
Ooh, I
it's
don't know
not,
about the
it's not
same
good.
night. But okay, it's been what? I think they were on day, what was that day? I forget what day they were on, to be honest, but I
I
think
know we
it's
got
been
17
over.
days to decision day. So
Right.
over a
I was
month.
gonna yeah, so it's been over a month. And here's the thing, like, again, this is the agreement that you agreed to. No one twisted your arm to come on this show. You know
Hmm.
that you're married, you've taken vows, they are legally married here in the United States. Um, so I guess a lot of people would say, and then they're with each other most of the day. So it's an
Hmm.
accelerated process. So maybe their 1 month is like 6 months of dating. And now, and like I said, again, they are legally married. So this is no longer a dating situation.
Hmm.
And as Pastor Cal says, it's not a friendship situation. You guys are married, and we expect you to do what married people do, which I'm
Get
beginning
in
to
there.
get into it, guys. Get into it. So I don't know. That's Becca and Austin. Anything else you want to add about Becca and Austin before we move on to Emily and Brennan?
Well, yeah, I thought it was interesting that Becca brought up that she was just feeling rejected. Like she literally said it out of her
Yeah.
mouth. And that's kind
Mhm.
of sad to feel that
Yeah.
way in any situation, whether it's a friendship and a marriage. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. She is. She's really catching it. Um, I don't know. I don't know why. I guess I feel like I'm not wanting him to feel forced into, having hot
Hmm.
heavy time with her, but I think he should at least be honest. I think this episode, I and a lot of the other viewers that I was responding to and looking at, they don't feel like he's being honest. I mean, all these excuses about
Yes.
the cat and his throat was getting scratchy and this and
Hmm.
that and this and that. And I guess the other thing, they were at, let's be fair. Now they were at his aunt and uncle's house, but does anybody
Mm-mm.
have any money between the two of them to get a hotel? Like, you guys are
Oh,
adults.
no, we would have got it in at Auntie's house. I'm sorry.
You would have christened the auntie's house. Oh my goodness,
Listen.
wild. I guess so. I guess so. I guess so. But so we're gonna move on to the next couple, which would be this couple here, Emily and Brennan. And we see that Emily and Brennan, they're really going through it too. They're still going through it. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to make of these two. Um, it's like they're in some kind of fantasy land. She doesn't see that he doesn't want her, and he just keeps refusing to go through the process to do the exercises that the experts have given them. Like you said, what do you think about them not doing the exercises?
It's the same. That's why I'm like, he must be talking to Austin because they are not listening. And I believe Emily wants to, but she's just trying to follow Brennan's lead. Because, like Emily said, she's a little intimidated by him and she doesn't know what to say or what to do because she doesn't want him to get upset. So that's very important because you do want peace in your home. I just feel that Brennan isn't attracted to Emily, so he's just not willing to move forward for whatever reason. And I'm hoping we'll find out what the attraction issue is coming soon. Maybe I want to hear him say it. I have all my assumptions, but I would love to hear him just really say what it is that happened to turn them off, kind of like the other couple, Brennan and Emily just went from night and day. And it's just like, what are we doing? This is not the friendship show, as Pastor Cal said. This is really time to, you dated all the other ways and it didn't work. And now we found someone who matches who you want and it's still not working. So what is the real issue?
Mm-hmm. Do you see what let me see. Let me get this up here. Do you see what Kirby is saying about Austin, about his throat being scratchy?
Oh my goodness. Good job, Kirby. Good job. That's right. We need Kirby.
We need Kirby. Kirby is gonna tell it like it Ti is. Thank you, Kirby. Yeah, his throat got a little scratchy, so maybe he could do that. I don't know, but maybe he could do that. That
Oh my
might help.
goodness.
That might help that scratchy throat of his. Who knows?
It might. That's what Kirby said. Oh
Uh,
goodness.
I got in my notes here that Emily tells Brennan that she really how she I think that she should tell him, or I said she never tells Brennan how she truly feels about his treatment of her, but she goes around and she tells everyone else. Does she even know what she wants? Because in this episode, we see her telling her friend that she doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know her boundaries because he's already set his boundaries. But
Mm-hmm.
as a woman and as an individual, don't you think that she has the right to set her boundaries, and that's where they need to compromise? What do you think, Kimberly?
Yes, I believe so. And I think that's why they have that compromise question tonight for the after party. But I think she just doesn't understand the compromise. Emily is thinking she just needs to do whatever Brennan wants. And now Brennan
Right.
is kind of dropping little nuggets or whatever because I couldn't believe he said that losing her would suck. And then he said something like, that's why I'm trying my best to make sure that doesn't happen or something. And I'm like, when? When are you trying?
Oh
So
no.
I think he's misleading her too. She's confused because he's saying one thing,
He's
with his words,
gaslighting her, isn't he?
yes, but his
He's
actions are
telling her
not lining up.
they're not lining up. Because wait a minute, and to prove that this episode, we had Pastor Cal to come in, and after he greeted everyone with a hug and said his hellos and pleasantries, he sat down and he whipped out his iPad, and on it he showed us all the interview questions and the responses that both Emily gave and that Brennan gave. And although Emily's was very consistent, I would say, do you think that Brennan's answers, what he said, what he told the producers was, and the experts, do you think that was honest?
No, I don't. I think he just knew what to say and that's what he did. Like Emily said in an interview, we're practicing, we're coached sometimes. So Brennan just said all the right things in the episode, and I mean in the interview. And I loved watching Emily's face when they were watching the playback because she was like, "Who is this man? Like, what? I can't believe he said that he's going to give it his all and really try and trust the process." And he has not done any of that.
Right, right, right. Um, Favorite T says, I think that they said on the after party that Brennan is turned off by her drinking.
Yeah, we've heard, assumptions, but we haven't heard him say. We've
No, he
also
didn't.
said that
On the
maybe
after
it was
party.
because of her. Say it again.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was just saying, no, on the after party, Brennan absolutely. I don't know if you saw that episode. Oh, about 3 weeks ago, he said on the after party that her drinking and that her having those one night stands was a lot for him. He's not into that. He's turned off by
Hmm.
that. Yeah.
Okay, but okay, I missed that one. That must have been when I was cruising the seas.
Yeah, this show is like if you miss the after party, you
Right.
don't really get the context, which is kind of weird because a lot of people are not going to see because now they're breaking up the after party and it's no longer directly after the show. They break it up with this show called The Prison Brides or uh, uh yeah, I don't
Hmm.
know, something
Right.
some crazy show, right? But
Yes.
anyway, so yeah, that's what I got on those two. I think that she really needs to tell him how she really feels. I don't know, a lot of people seem to think that Emily's afraid of Brennan. I'm
Hmm.
wondering if she's not so much afraid of him as she's afraid of losing him.
Hmm.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm feeling because I got the feeling that Emily is very competitive and she doesn't like to lose. And I think she feels like if he walks away, that she will have lost. I think that's the athlete in her.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if she's really afraid. Do you feel like maybe she could be afraid of him? Would you be afraid of Brennan?
I agree with both. Like, and what you said too, I think it's a mixture because a few times back on the after party, she did say that he was like screaming at her, and I wouldn't want to be upsetting a person that would raise their voice at me, because who's to say you wouldn't raise your hand at me too if you are that comfortable with screaming at me and you don't even know me. We've only been together for a month, and there are cameras around, and you're comfortable with screaming at me. That could be kind of scary. So I think it's both what you said. She's afraid of losing him, but also she's probably afraid of just him as a person and what he could do.
That's true. That's true. That makes sense too. You're right because he is screaming at her, and we can see that he definitely always tries to shut her down in these
Hmm.
therapy sessions whenever she tries to have her say, which I don't like that. I don't
Yeah,
like
or he'll
that.
look. Yes.
He'll look. Oh, this is what I wanted to get in before we move on to our next couple, the final couple. This is what I want to say. What do you think about the experts? So I was watching this again, and he was telling Pastor Cal, he was saying, we want this and we don't like that and we prefer. And I was like, well, wait a minute, you're only one person. You are you and she is she, and you guys certainly haven't been together like 10, 20, 30 years to the point where we see couples, they begin to become a we. You
Yeah.
guys have not even been together a whole year. So the idea that he's saying we, and I'm kind of concerned that the experts aren't correcting him when he says we, because to me
Right.
he should only be responding to Pastor Cal or Dr. Pia or whomever and say, well,
Hmm.
I feel, I would like, I prefer, this
Hmm.
is how I feel, because he can't speak
Yeah.
for her. What do you think about that?
I bet it's just her at home when they're having these conversations. Emily is just like, yes, right, because she's not going to speak up and say, no, I don't want to do that, or no, I don't agree with that, because she's afraid of Brennan. So now he's probably not sure because he's thinking, oh, we agree on these things because she's not saying anything back, because we know she's already said, that she kind of just goes with the flow. So he may be
Yeah,
thinking that, oh, yeah, we're on one page and I can speak for her, but you're right. It's too soon. This we stuff. Speak for yourself and let her speak.
and let her speak. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I just think I don't know why they allow him to do that, but we will
Mm-hmm.
go on to our last couple. Let me take the comment off the screen. We'll go on to our last couple, and that is Chloe and Michael. Chloe and Michael this week. We opened up with them pretty much spooning in the bed. Michael kind of is very lighthearted about the fact that Chloe actually had not one, not two, not three, but four panic attacks in bed the night before. And so
Right.
they're able to laugh about that. Are you surprised that Chloe had so many panic attacks, Kimberly?
And that's funny because that was what I wrote in my notes. I said, why am I not surprised that the perfectionist would be the one having the panic attacks?
Oh, see there, so you weren't surprised. Okay, okay.
Not at all.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, the thing I did like though is that even though she had them, and obviously when a person has panic attacks, they can't control that. That's an
Hmm.
involuntary response their body is having. But I love the maturity of both of these two individuals. They're able to talk about it, and
Hmm.
you see that they have good active listening skills. He's listening to her, she's listening to him, and you really have some sympathy for Chloe because this is all seems like a lot for her. And then we
Yes.
find out that Michael has packed 6 bags, count them, 6 bags, not five, but 6 bags of clothing for this basically overnight weekend stay that of a honeymoon that they're going on. 'Cause they didn't go far and they didn't go for very long, I don't think. So what did you think of that? All the clothes that he packed. Is that
Oh,
was does that surprise you?
terrible. But that's how he dressed because he does a lot of layers. He does like thick shoes. So those thick shoes could take up a lot of space. I'm sure he has special stuff for his hair, the bob thing. And then he has the bandanas and, all the jewelry and the extra accessories. So it could get a bit much. Now I'm like Chloe. I'm the minimalist. I can get about 8 days in a little carry on. Give me a
Oh my
personal
goodness.
bag. Oh yeah, give me a little personal item. I got like a little tote and I can put that right under the seat on the plane and I'm good for a good 8 days. But see, I don't wear makeup. It's just I wear thin shoes because I love like flats and flip flops and slides. So my shoes are super thin. So I could really downsize, but six, that's a bit much. That's too much.
Well, we see them getting in a chauffeur driven limousine or whatever you want to call it. They're headed up the road. Like I said, they don't get to go out of the state. They basically went somewhere else in Colorado, which is very beautiful and scenic in the mountains, right? And we see them go rock climbing. And before they actually go rock climbing, though, we have Michael getting in his harness. What did you think of his pelvic thrust? I I think that it had the opposite effect that he might have wanted it to have on Chloe, because I think Chloe was kind of like, that's enough.
It was funny. But yeah, Chloe isn't here for it at all. Yet. Not
Uh-uh.
yet.
Uh, we also find this episode once again we're reminded. I remembered that he was Filipino, but I didn't know what the other side was. We find out that his mother was Filipino and his father was Greek. So we find out, the ethnicity of Michael, and
Mhm.
Chloe seems okay with all of that. Like I said, they go on the rock climb. They do extremely well. They end up on a bridge discussing some more. And later that night, Chloe tells him that they're going to be going back to their regular lives tomorrow. And she doesn't know if she can do it. Did that throw you off when she said that and they left us on that cliffhanger before they came back on the commercial break?
Yes, I was ready to pull up on Chloe now. We can't let this happen. We can't let it happen twice to Michael. We have to protect Michael. No. So yeah, that was like, what are you doing, lady?
Oh, but I don't know. I think that he may be a little bit too much for her. I'm getting the
Oh
sense that
gosh.
when you look in her face, like, I think she's a kind person, and I think it's not that she's not doesn't find him physically attractive. But
Mm-hmm.
Michael's a little bit of a devo,
Mm-hmm.
I guess is what it's called for the man. He's a little bit of a devo, and I'm not sure that every woman wants a devo man that's just so high maintenance and is so elaborate and is so
Mm-hmm.
what's the word? What did they used to call Liberace? So flamboyant.
Yeah. Right. I think we got into the metrosexual last week, right? We named
Metro,
him.
yes, metrosexual. That's it. You're right. Metrosexual Michael. Metrosexual
Hmm.
Michael. Yes, as ring to
Yes.
it. But let's see. We find out that I like how, but I will say this: I like how emotionally intelligent he is. Michael, when he
Yes.
told her that he wanted her to be more selfish and take good care of herself, I could have hugged and kissed him my doggone self.
Exactly. Those are my exact thoughts. I was like, get over here, boy.
Yeah, come on, bring it in, baby, bring it
Yes.
in, bring it in. I was like, okay, a lot of people have questioned whether or not Michael was going to be matched with our Lauren from earlier in this season, who was matched with Orion. Do you think that? How do you think if they had? Now I know they weren't, but how do you think that Michael and Lauren might have gotten along if they had been matched together?
I think they would have matched and made it much further because both of them were just willing to try and do whatever to please their partner. So I think it would have been a good match.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And I think Lauren is not as nervous as this woman here,
Mhm.
Chloe. Chloe's quite nervous, but I think that Lauren was more excited about the opportunity to be married and
Mhm.
was not a perfectionist. And I think she would have accepted Michael in all of his metrosexualness. And then I think, she would have gotten it because, she also calls herself queer. That's how she defined herself, right?
Mhm.
Lauren did. Not talking about Chloe right now, but talking about Lauren. Um, and then last but not least, we see them kind of, we see Chloe basically toward the end of this episode having a kind of really emotional breakdown. What did you make of that? What did you make of Chloe and her crying, and having the breakdown?
I think it's normal because you hear all the cameras in your face, and we hear all the time that they film for hours on hours, and that could get to anybody. And Michael was perfect. I feel that he was very supportive. I
Yes.
love the question that Michael asked, what support types benefit
Yes.
you? Oh, I just love that question. Like, I'm already wanting to know ahead of time. I know we're going to go through bumps. How can I help you? That was good. So I think Chloe's emotions were, reasonable considering the circumstances, but I just feel that she has to trust the process and just give it her all. And I think that that was a bit of a panic attack. She said she didn't have them outside of sleeping, but to me, it looked like she was having a panic attack.
Yes, you know what? That's a very good point. And let us not forget before we close out, let us not forget the massage, So earlier in
Hmm.
the evening before they came back to the room, he had planned for them to get a couples massage. So they're both stretched out on the table. They have two different separate masseuse people, and they're being massaged. And then the lady asked if Michael would like to massage his wife. And of course, he wastes no time hopping up off the table to give her a massage. What did you think about that? What did
Ooh,
you
I
think
would have been
about
like, check, please. Listen, we would not have no Becca and Austin situation over here. Cause Michael, he was into it and he's attractive. He's a good looking guy.
He is
And
nice.
then
He's
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 just,
grown on me. He's grown
yeah,
on me.
and he's intelligent, he speaks
Yes,
well.
yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I would break all the rules. We would be ready for the baby shower.
Oh my, a honeymoon baby. All right, all
Listen.
right. A honeymoon baby. Finally, we get a honeymoon baby off of Married at First Sight. Well, next week, what are you excited? Next week, we're going to see. Speaking of Lauren and Orion, we're going to see them at the couples retreat. Uh, it's interesting that they're bringing back all these broken down couples. I wonder if Cameron and Claire are also going to be there because Cameron, we know he had his heart procedure. So, what do
Mhm.
you think? You think there's any chance that Cameron might make it there?
I hope not, because on the after party, it seems like Cameron's telling people he is just over Claire and wants her to go away. So I hope they're not trying to, ease them back in. I'll accept Lauren and Orion, even though I'm not a big fan of it because they've just drugged this out too long. But, we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Yeah, we will see. We'll be back here next Sunday, same time, same place, right here on these YouTube streets, 4:30 p.m. Kimberly Reviews, would you tell the people what you got going on over on your channel on Wednesday nights and so forth?
Yeah, so we are live every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, just watching the show on your own device, however you watch your cable TV shows. And we just chat about it live as the episode is happening. I mute during the playing of the show so you can focus. And then I unmute during the commercial break so we can chat about what we saw. So come on over.
All right. Tell them, are you also doing, I think, something on Fridays? You could go ahead and tell them about this
Yes.
as I type this out. Go ahead.
Yeah, so watching Ready to Love, the same style, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday nights. Now, Ready to Love comes on OWN. So go over to the OWN network, turn on your TV, your device, however you watch it, and then come on over to Kimberly Review so we can watch and chat together. And then actually, Aubrey does the recap on her channel right after this recap on Sundays, recapping Ready to Love with the panel. So it's awesome, and they're having a good time.
We are having a good time. And guys, I'm actually Aubrey. This is we're gonna sign off. We'll be back here on Sunday next week and every Sunday while the show is on, 4:30 p.m. And I'll see you in about an hour and 15 minutes for Ready to Love review, live review and live panel. Guys, so we're gonna go ahead and head on out here. And I
Take
want to
care.
thank you. Take care. I want to thank everybody for being here. And we'll see you back in just like I said, about an hour. And if I could just find my music. Here we go. Bye now.